action, no doubt at all. However, more needs to be done to ensure effective implementation and monitoring of these reforms, right? Let's look at, some very salient questions, because there are questions that border around security challenges, whether or not this reform would be effectively implemented, right? And the place of government accountability is yet another concern, and questions, of course, building up from that angle. And there is also the place of public trust and confidence, and of course, we will look at other aspects of this. But then, when you look at all of this, Mr. Benedict, and looking at the wake of an August 1 protest, which is supposed to be considered peaceful, would you say that we are in a step in the right direction? One. Secondly, would you also say, as some political observers are saying, why is this Police Act Amendment Bill, being approved by the Senate at a time like this? Is this to forestall the event of August 1 of 2024?
Well, now we actually look at this thoroughly. Number one, it's not when you are drowning that you begin to learn to swim. So, when we therefore come into talking about the society, looking at crowd control, looking at policing, you will realize that, as I would always say, we are people that want to do things right rather than do the right things. Now, when you don't do the right things, it becomes impossible to sustain the process. So we come to a number of the security forces. The first question we want to ask is, have we actually put them in the right position? From the point of recruitment, perhaps, to the point of training, to the point of promotions, in the areas of facilities and implements that are meant for them to do the job. Can they really go out and give their all to the job when they know that the children and the wife that they have left are hungry? Have we asked ourselves what we do to the families of members of the security and the paramilitary organizations? The problem is we have left too many things undone for too long. A nation like Egypt would always be my reference point when you come to policing.
Okay.
I know that the police in that country are always out to work. Now, we always have this joke that the city of Cairo is policed 32 hours in a day. How do you mean? They run 4 shifts of 8 hours. So it means that at no point is the streets of Cairo left without policemen on duty. They got their cars, they got their kids. They never have to look for accommodation. In government build houses, there are reserved places for the police. The police should live with the people, not in the barrack. Perhaps if you are going to have a barrack, maybe for a such as the mobile policemen, who must always be in uniform, and who would only be deployed at different points. But as for the general duty, they should live with the people that they run. So community policing is not about employing people from the village alone. It is about ensuring that the policemen live in the midst of the people that you have brought them to serve. And when those accommodations are reserved by the government, you expect that the people are better respected. In our case, policemen sleep under the bridge. sleep in the open space in the force headquarters, to transfer them without any form of protection. I see policemen in training in police college Ikeja, if I don't know of any other one, to whom you give them garri, you give them water, and they have to go over under the fence to go and buy soup to eat the food that they are officially served. Now, when you take somebody through that kind of condition for 6 months, what do you expect of him when he gets on the street? So a lot has been left undone from the grassroots. And so if we're talking about restructuring, it is not about the structure. I think the first thing will be you start from the recruitment, you go through the training, and ensure that these human beings are treated first and foremost as humans.
All right. Well, let's look at a summary of what of the Police Act Amendment Bill of 2024, where the Nigerian House of Representatives and Senate had passed the Police Act Amendment Bill 2024, which allows the Inspector General of Police to remain in office for 4 years. The high point of the bill will be an extension of IGP's tenure. The bill extends the tenure of the IGP, allowing them to serve for 4 years as opposed to the previous retirement age of 60, right? The amendment of the Police Act 2020, I beg your pardon. Now, the bill amends the Police Act 2020, promoting accountability, modernizing policing methods, and fostering a harmonious relationship between the police and the community. And then the bill was sent to the House of Representatives by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, seeking an amendment to the Principal Act to reflect on the tenure of the IGP, right? And now there are some discourse and controversy that surround this, conversation, the place of lack of public hearing. So the bill's passage has been met with criticism for not having a public hearing, raising concerns about transparency and accountability. Also, when you look at the place of IGP's retirement age, the bill's extension or the extension of the bill of the IGP's tenure has sparked debate about the retirement age of police officers and the potential impact on the force's structure and operations. So it takes us to quite a number of questions. Why was the bill passed without a public hearing? In your own thought line, what do you think? And then how will the extension of the IGP's tenure impact police operations and accountability, right? And then, of course, finally, what are the implications of the bill on the retirement age of police officers? That might just be what we'll be looking at in terms of, some salient questions in this regard.
Well, you want to take it this way, that first and foremost, the IGP is the only policeman who is not controlled by the Police Service Commission.
Okay.
So to that extent, you will know that the amendment affected only him who is an appointee of the president. Now, the act has been there since 2020. What was the National Assembly doing when Egbetokun was sent to them for screening? That they did not notice that he was getting an appointment for 4 years when he had just about 2 years left in the force. The letter had been issued and had been given to him. So whatever they are doing now is to correct their own error. And in the future, the vigilance should now be there from the press. I always say this, that sometimes we have acts that does not show that the press is keeping the nation on its toe where it is required. Okay. At the point of appointment, I remember saying it to someone that this guy has less than 2 years on the job. So why are you giving him a 4 years appointment? That appointment has been confirmed. And so adjusting the law to permit that error to sail through is on one side. However, if you ask me, for the purpose of consistency, going forward, it only means that the National Assembly will have to ensure that whoever is being appointed had at least 4 more years on the job.
But in this case, yeah, it's given an absolute right